bottom of the 10th, your team is down 2, and you're up at bat, and you're the last batter. Two outs, and you are the last at bat. 17 seconds left in the game, your team's down by 1. And the coach draws the play out for you to take the winning shot. You take the basketball, you get fielded into you, you dribble down, you spend about 8 seconds just to get the clock down to 6 to 7, and you drive and you make the game-winning shot with 1 second left on the clock. These are dreams, these are visions that kids, everyday people, boys and girls, dream of, imagine happening to them. But most dreams like that don't materialize. And the reason why they don't materialize is because these 5 steps that I'm going to share with you are the key to actually turning dreams into reality. Whether it's a business you want to start, whether it's a relationship you want to have, a life you want to live, a game you want to play, whatever success and fulfillment, happiness, enjoyment looks like, we all have dreams. We all have a vision. So welcome to tonight's web class. Tonight, we're going to talk about the speed to success. I'm going to walk you through using a case study of several things: coaches, myself, NFL teams, and Major League Baseball teams, to walk you guys through how I've actually achieved multi-7-figure success online, have an amazing relationship, have an amazing life, and how I was able to turn my dreams, my things that I would know that would fulfill me and the things I want to achieve into reality. So tonight's web class is about unlocking the freedom to live, work, earn from anywhere, doing what you know and love. Even if you are unknown, you're just starting off, you don't have a list or a large following. That's how I started. I didn't have a list. I didn't have a large following. I was unknown. Okay? And the speed to success steps are this. These are the 5 steps that I want to walk you through today. One is you got to have a vision. Second, make a decision. Third, once the decision's made, the dream lives on. Even if you stop, your dream continues. Then the rest are just choices that either get you closer or further from your dream, your decision. Then, if you're in the space where you are working with clients, you have coaching clients, you have a community you want to build, you have, regardless if you're selling a course or a done-for-you service, like a coaching program or a mastermind, it doesn't matter. You want to choose, I'm going to walk you through how you can actually choose to work with winners. Because when you work with winners, your job is really just to help them win more. And they're easier to work with. And how to create a culture within your community, within your program, within your offer, right? A culture of success, a culture of impact, a culture of fulfillment, a culture of serving, a culture of making the world a better place, helping people succeed, whether it be in their relationship, in their health, in their finances, their business, helping them overcome struggles, helping them move away from pain or move towards pleasure. Whatever the culture is, whatever impact means to you, whatever life on your terms means to you, creating a culture that thrives and aligns with the culture that you want to live. So the first step that we're going to talk about is vision. Jerry Jones owns the Dallas Cowboys. He's an NFL owner. And in 1989, he bought the Cowboys. But before buying the Cowboys, before making a decision like that, he had a dream. He had a vision. He had, as a child, to look at his history, as a child, at like 5 years old, he wanted to own an NFL team. He wanted to be wealthy, as a matter of fact, right? One of his legacies was he wanted to be a very rich, wealthy person. And at the NFL team, I don't know how he came up to that, but 5 years old, he dreamt about owning an NFL team. Like I said, there's a kid somewhere that stands on the mound in his neighborhood at the park, and bases are loaded. Whether he gets that chance or not, he's created that dream, or she's created that dream. Or a kid like Michael Jordan or any other kid that's playing basketball right now, whether he gets a chance to do that or not, that dream was created. Bo Eason, one of my coaches, who's he's an amazing storyteller, and he teaches storytelling, and he played in the NFL. His brother played, he was the first quarterback for the New England Patriots. Patriots had brought the New England Patriots to the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl. And Bo Eason he was a safety. He played for Miami, played for Tampa, played for multiple teams. But he's a storyteller. And one of the things that he had a vision as well at the age of 6, that he wanted to play in the NFL, right? Wanted to be a professional NFL player. So his dream lived on. But where a lot of dreams don't materialize is that people don't make a decision. People have so much decision fatigue. Make a decision, the rest are choices, right? So just like using the case study of the 3 Major League Baseball teams this year, right? All 3 owners had a vision that they wanted to, own baseball team, win the World Series, right? They all had that vision. But then they all made a decision this year to go all in, to be playing in the World Series. And it was not a surprise that the number 1 team, the number 1 payroll this year was the New York Mets. The second with $305 million. The New York Yankees was $303 million. And the Dodgers was $249 million. They went all in to go to the World Series. And it was not a surprise that those were the last 3 teams standing. And and number 3, which is the Dodgers, beat number 1 and went to the World Series. Number 2, which is the Yankees, beat everybody, went to the World Series, beat the Padres. And then the number 1, number 2, and number 3 ended up paying the World Series. And then obviously last week you saw the Dodgers won. They made a decision, all right? The Oakland A's, now you're saying, well, this system, that's great. They made a decision to win the World Series. They made choices to get there. They made choices to spend the payroll. But then what, can you use the same system on the polar opposite? The Oakland A's, if you ever saw the movie The Moneyball with Brad Pitt, right? He played Billy Beane, and Paul was his assistant, and they ended up choosing a system called Sabermetrics, right? They also made a decision not to actually win. Winning the World Series would have been great for them, would have been the icing on the cake. But at that year, in 2001, the owner decided that they didn't have the money to spend on major players, big name players. They didn't have the budget like the New York Yankees or at that time the Boston Red Sox. So they were a smaller market team. So they made a decision. They said, okay, what do we need to do to be competitive, to still be as competitive as these teams without the budget? So they made a decision, right? Because they lost Giambi, they lost Damon, they lost key players that year, and they were not going to be competitive with the budget that they had. So they had to change. They had to do something different. Coach Valvano, who coached NC State to their very first state championship in 1983, same thing with him. He made a decision to be the head coach of that college that year. The coach left. They totally mid-season left the team and said, hey, I'm going. He got a job offer. He quit. He left his contract and quit. And here we had these kids, these college kids, didn't have a coach anymore. So Coach Valvano said, you know what, I'm going to go here and I'm going to win the championship. All right. Bo Eason made a decision as well that his son is going to play quarterback in the NFL. And I'll share his story in a little bit here. His son's being groomed right now to actually be the number 1 draft pick in the 2027 draft. and he's doing really well at it, right? Made a decision, okay? And then the rest are just choices. So just like these teams, the Mets with $305 million, the Yankees, $303 million, Dodgers, $249 million, they made a decision that they're going to play in the World Series, and then they make choices that either get them closer or further. So they said, if I choose to spend $305 million, will it get me closer to the pennant? The Yankees did the same thing. The Dodgers did the same thing. They did. They made choices. Just like the Oakland A's made choices to use sabermetrics in baseball to be competitive. Just like me, when I said, this is how I want to live my life, and I make a decision to say, you know what, I'm going to now live life on my terms, be a business owner, not an operator, be an entrepreneur, live the life of freedom. That was my decision. To refuse to start my very next business in 2018, after I just exited out of my 6-7-figure business, building my business in 2018, I said, I'm going to build my business online. That was a choice I made because I knew that that choice would get me closer, not further from my dream of living the ultimate freedom to live, work, earn from anywhere. That's literally was my decision that I made. I will refuse to build a business that did not allow me to live, work, and earn from anywhere. So I made a choice that the next business I'm going to build is an online business, 100%. My traditional businesses were brick and mortar. I had physical locations. I had telemarketing companies. I had salespeople. I had all kinds of business. I did residential real estate. I had warehouses full of equipment and products. We did commercial real estate. Shut them all down. Made a decision, shut them all down. Like our real estate business was an 8-figure business. We shut them all down to make this choice to go 100% online in 2018. Another good example of a choice is my friend, literally about a year and a half ago in Houston, Texas, he comes to me and my wife, him and his wife says, hey, we would love for you to partner with us. He owns a real estate business full of realtors, and he had just bought an insurance company and a mortgage company. And he says, I want you to come in with us. We'd love to have you as partners. You don't have to invest at all. We love you guys. We believe in you guys. You guys have so much to offer. Really take our business from 8 figures to 9 figures. That's where we want to go. And they made us an offer to join them and their team without any investment because we knew how much me and my wife brought to the table. So the choice to either say yes to that or no to that was very simple for us because we had already made a decision what life on our terms looked like, what a business that allows us to live the laptop lifestyle looked like. And if I wouldn't have said yes to that business, an 8-figure business where we walking into it financially would have made sense, the choice to say no to that was because it took us further, not closer. It actually contaminated, not contributed to my freedom. I decided I wanted to live a life of freedom. So the rest are choices. Fourth, and then we'll have a discussion here as well. We'll go back to every single one of these guys. I just want to share these steps with you as well and examples of what teams have done. And then fourth is you choose, right? You go all in and then you say, you know what? I also will now, as I acquire clients, I will at the very beginning, you may need to work, you may need to be more flexible in terms of the clients that you work with no doubt, as you're looking to build this business, right? As a matter of fact, a couple of days ago, I was coaching Dwight and Brandon, who a dad and son team that said, hey, we don't build this type of funnel because they're funnel builders, but this is the offer. She asked us to build this for her. We could do it, but it's not in our wheelhouse. We love, we obviously, they build webinars, they build lead magnet funnels. That's their thing, right? And I've taught them how to build a business that is simplicity, right? That will help them to scale. Don't customize so many things. But they said she said that she would want this build and this is what she would be willing to pay. What do you think? And since they're a startup, what did I do as a coach? I said, well, you're not really that busy right now. And to me, honestly, you would do it. You need to be really flexible at the very beginning. You may need to hire, you may need to say yes to certain clients. You may need to tweak your pricing. you may need to tweak your deliverables at the very beginning. Until you hit that million mark, then you have to simplify things, right? Then you have to say no to certain clients. And most importantly, that once you get to a certain threshold, you have to start working with winners. Just like the Dodgers who went out, right? Made a choice to pay that much money, but that they went and built a winning team, bringing in, right, Yamamoto, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. They brought in for 350, signed Shohei Ohtani to a $700 million contract. Double the contract that was highest at that point, 349, which was his former partner, right, in the Angels. Made Mookie Betts, made Freeman more successful, right? Made all their existing players really elevate their game because they brought in players that were winners. Right? So they chose to work with winners. And that's what we're doing as well as a company. Right? We're at that threshold now where our coaching business now is going to start working with winners. And I'm going to share with you how that actually works in a little bit here. Okay. And then the last step is culture. Building a culture, once you've decided to work with winners, building a culture that is a winning culture. When they knew that they would bring in players like Yamamoto and Shohei Ohtani, that the players there that were really good already, they would become outstanding. They would be excellent, right? They knew that. Just like the Chicago Bulls. When if you look at the data, when they won the first three championships, when Michael Jordan was on the team, statistics of the players like Scottie Pippen and Steve Kerr, Luke Longley, and Dennis Rodman, they all elevated their game because Jordan was on the team. When he actually retired, their stats went down. When he came back, their stats went back up. That's a winning culture. When we're doing the same thing with ours as well. Coach Valvano, how he built a winning culture was when he came into practice the first day, came in to meet his players the first day after he'd taken the job, he said, I have a stack of your transfer papers. I know you guys are mad. I know the coach quit on you. I have a stack of your transfer papers, and I have approved them. So if you decide you guys want to transfer, I've approved them, I've stamped them, I've signed them. We'll bring on new players. But if you are willing to stay and give me a shot as your coach, I will take you guys to the championship, he said. Some players left, and some of the players stayed. And you know what he did the first day of practice? He brings his team to the court. And they're like, okay, so what do we do, coach? I'm like, well, first off, somebody go grab a ladder. Somebody go grab a ladder. And he's like, what? Go grab a ladder. So somebody goes grab a ladder. He goes, okay, put it right there. Put it right underneath the basket. All right, now I want who's our best player? Who's our captain? Who's the captain? Oh, you. Okay, perfect. I want you to climb up there, and I want you to cut off the net. Cut the net. Cut the net. Go down to the other end and go cut the net too. And then after they cut the net, he says, "Okay, come grab me. Lift me up." So that his players lifted him up. And he goes, now run around the court and cheer that we just won the national championship. His players are like, what the heck? This guy's crazy. And at first they were like, oh, they did it sluggishly. They're like, whatever. Then whatever, right? And he did this every single day. Every single day. They had to order a bunch of nets. Every single day there was a start of the practice. Cut the nets. Parade them around on their shoulders. Running around high-fiving each other. And then the players started getting into it. They're like, wait, maybe coach isn't so crazy. And then they started winning games, and then winning games and winning games because he created a culture. He created the result in their minds, in their bodies, had them embody it first before they physically arrived. Same thing with people who are poor. Rich people aren't rich because they have money. Rich people are rich because they arrived to be rich first before before the money came. All right. And hence, we're building a culture of winners here as well. We're building a culture of those who are ready to get off the sidelines, that will refuse to stay in the stands, will refuse to be participants. Our culture is we want players in the game, not participants. We're looking for people who are ready to take action, who are ready to implement, not just hear for more information. We're building a culture that is not comfortable. I'm building a culture that will help you get you uncomfortable, because that's where whatever your dream is, whatever success looks like to you, will actually happen. Because if I let you sit on the sidelines, I let you continue to come here and get information, do absolutely nothing with it, then I'm helping you kill your dream, and I refuse to do that. My job is to do one thing and one thing only: coach your greatness into existence. That's it. That's why you're here. Because again, guys, more information, another course, another community, another mastermind, another web class is not going to change your life unless you do something with it. And I'm going to walk you through how I've chosen to work with winners and how we're going to create a culture here in a little bit.